What's good, y'all? If you tapped in, you already know who I am. If not, my name is Caleb Jarrell. And you just gotta keep going. That's all it is to it. You can't focus on whatever trials, whatever situation you're in. You can't focus on the negatives of every situation that you go through. You gotta find the positive, whether it be through a relationship, whether it be through finance, whether it be through a business. You're gonna have negative things that come up. You're gonna have struggles. You're gonna have times where stuff get hard. You're gonna have times where your mental may not be in the best space that it can be, and you really don't know what to do. But that's where you gotta really lock in and focus on finding the positive out of whatever situation you're going through. You gotta figure out what it is that you can do to flip your perspective and not focus so much on the negative. And just from my experience, bro, a lot of times, a lot of stuff that you go through may not even be for you. Sometimes it could be for you to be evidence for somebody else. You feel me? Sometimes it could be for you to relay a message or relay some encouragement or something to somebody else, because whether y'all know it or not, you on this earth to serve somebody else. You on this earth to be a witness to somebody else. You on this earth to help other people, you feel me? So, and whatever you do, that's what your outcome should be, is to serve other people. So just from my experience, there's been certain things that I've went through where I didn't even understand why I was going through it. I didn't feel like I made decisions to reap what I was going through, different things like that. And that's where you kind of understand life can be unfair sometimes. But at the end of the day, I've recognized from each situation, I've had people come around me, whether it be me cutting their hair or me just talking to random people, just out and about, in the world or whatever. And I find myself talking about those times that I went through. And it's you can feel the connection from whatever I'm talking about, if that makes sense. Because I'm telling them certain things that I've went through, they feel like they can relate to me. They feel like that we have something in common, so therefore they see my lifestyle, they see how I move, they see how I carry myself, and it allows them to have some type of hope. It allows them to have some type of encouragement to keep going in whatever situation that they're going through. So I say all that to say, you may not realize why you're going through what you're going through. Some of your stuff may be harder than whatever else somebody else go through, you feel me? But you gotta use that as motivation. You gotta use that as fire or gas to keep going, you feel me? You gotta realize those hard times don't last. You gotta realize those struggles don't last. You feel me? So when them hard times come, or when you get out of a hard situation, let that keep you humble. Let that keep you to a place to where you recognize you've been here before. You feel me? If you ever play sports or football, exactly, you feel me? They always would tell us, act like you've been here before. You score a touchdown, walk off with some class, you feel me? Act like you used to doing this, basically. So I'm saying that to say, when you go through each struggle, when you go through each hardship, whatever you want to call it, you got to take the positives and learn from that. You got to take the positives, you got to take the negatives and make them become positives, you feel me? You got to learn how to embrace whatever it is that you're going through. A lot of times we go through certain things and we want to look for the quickest way possible to get out of the situation. And it's because it's in our nature to want to do that. But sometimes you got to go against the grain when it comes to certain things. You got to go against the grain and be let me sit still and just embrace what I'm going through. Let me see how my mindset is while I'm going through this. Let me see the actions that I still produce while I'm going through this, you feel me? And of course it's gonna get hard sometimes. Sometimes you may have to find people to talk to. Sometimes you may have to kind of sit with yourself, and not sit with yourself as in moping and feeling sorry for yourself, but sit with yourself and really assess how you are, assess your mindset while you're going through the situation. Are you losing faith, or do you still got faith in God? You feel me? Sometimes we go through some things and kind of neglect the one person that we can go to things about that'll make the situation better. and it's God, you feel me? We'll go through something and isolate ourselves. You don't want to talk to nobody. You don't want to get out and do anything, but sometimes you gotta take the eyes off yourself. Sometimes those are situations where you may be going through and it tests you to see if you are just being selfish. You only think about yourself, or can you look at somebody else's situation and still help them out? I'm gonna tell y'all this one story I went through last year. And I think I spoke about it on my channel before, but if you're new, you probably don't know too much about it. So just to sum it up, I was having truck problems, different things like that. Business was going real slow for me and different things. It was in a season where I didn't really understand what I was going through and why I was going through certain things, you feel me? So my mental was in a bad place. I wasn't feeling good. You know, when your money messed up, it started to mess with you. And that's a whole nother thing that I could talk about, you feel me? That kind of show you what you got faith in, you feel me? You got too much faith in your money, or you got too much faith in certain things. Once those things get hit, that means that you don't really trust God for real like that sometimes. And of course you want to be set in certain areas, different things like that, but don't let it be to a point to where it just mess up your whole momentum, or you feel like you can't function without certain things, you feel me? You got to learn how to be content in whatever situation you're going through. But back to the story, I was going through a situation like that, and I'm walking around the park, doing my cardio, different things. And really, I'm like listening to Eric Thomas, different people, Jerry Flowers, certain sermons and motivational messages, different things like that. And I find these two homeless people. And while I'm walking around the park, I feel like this unction to like check up on them. So, boom, I do it. I'm like, hey, y'all straight? Y'all need anything? And at first, I was like, nah, we good. And I was like, I mean, I'm finna go to the store. If y'all want something, I'll bring y'all something back. Whole time, like I said, I'm driving my truck, but my truck is having issues. So I'm only able to go like 20 miles per hour with my transmission messed up, different things like that. So I'm already knowing I'm gonna have to come out of a lot of money to pay for this issue, different things like that. So boom, I go to the store, and when I go in, I'm thinking like, I'm finna get them 2 bottles of water, bag of chips, breakfast sandwich, boom, that's it, that'll be straight. I'm like, nah, you feel me? If that was me in this situation, I would want somebody, you feel me, go all out on me, spin the bag on me, you feel me? So I'm like, let me treat them how I want to be treated. So I get into the store, and while I'm going in the store, I'm buying jugs of water, I'm buying Gatorades, and mind you, this is for 2 people. I'm buying jugs of water, Gatorades. I'm buying multiple boxes of pizza in the store, breakfast sandwiches. So they set for the whole day or the next few days, you feel me? Depending on how hungry they was. So I go to the counter, boom, lady checked me out. She like, do you got a rewards card? Cause she seen how much I had. I was like, nah, I don't. So boom, she discounted for me. So I keep that in mind. I'm like, dang, she didn't have to do that. And it was a reason that stuck in my mind. So she discounted it for me. I'm like, bet, thank you. I leave the store, I'm going back to the park. I get to the park, they still there. I get out and I'm coming like Santa, you feel me? I got bags all in my hand, different things like that. So I know like it did something to them. I could feel their energy change. And I go to them and I'm conversating with them. I'm just asking them their name, how they doing, different things like that. And when I left, like I felt so good that I forgot about my situation, even though I drove off and was still only able to go 20 miles per hour. But like I felt like that whole mental space of just focusing on myself and doing that for them took me out of that whole mental space that I was in. So boom, mind you, at this time I'm running to the shop to go to work. As y'all know, I'm a barber, so I'm running to the shop to go to work. I go to work. You feel me? I'm staying at work. I really wasn't driving my truck to work, so I'm running to the shop and I'm running back to my apartment. So in a total, it's like 3 miles. So I'm staying at work all day, staying in the shop, and I'm just sitting there. And it was a time where I literally just had to be content with what I was going through. It was a time where I could have asked for a ride, but I wanted to get whatever I needed to get out of that situation. I had to flip my mindset and my perspective to be, okay, let me embrace the situation and get out of it what I need to get out of it. So I did that for about a week and a half or two. And at this time, my truck is in the shop, so I don't have my truck no more when I'm running back and forth, you feel me? So boom, I get a call, and the people I drop my truck off to, they like, hey, you can come pick your truck up. We fixed it. And I asked them, I'm like, okay, but how much is it gonna run me to pay for the labor, different things like that? Tell me why I forgot about a whole like warranty that came with my truck when I first bought it. And I only put like maybe $1,000 on the warranty, if that. They told me that the total stuff that they did came out to $4,000. And I owed them $17.44 for transmission fluid. So I get the call, I'm looking at the phone, I'm like, hold on, y'all sure I got the right person? And they like, yeah. So boom, I go pick the truck up, expeditiously pay for that $17.44, and I get on down, you feel me? So I get out of there, and instantly when I get home, my mind go back to the lady at the grocery store. And I'm like, let me go bless her, because she just helped me bless somebody else. That's how it's supposed to be. When you get blessed, you gotta bless somebody else. You feel me? You can't be selfish with the situation that you in, whether it be negative or positive. And that's something that I got out of that situation. That's something that I had to learn. So boom, I go back to the store, and I'm thinking like, this lady was at a morning shift. So it was late by the time I went and got my truck. It was like after 6 or 7. So I'm like, ain't no way she's still up here. But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be obedient. Let me go. I'm gonna be obedient to how I feel, different things like that, or where my mindset is at. I was like, if it's for me to do it, then she gonna be there. I get in there, instantly when I walk in, she come in behind me, and I didn't recognize it. But she was coming back up. She was off, but she was coming back up to her job to do whatever it is that she had to do. So boom, I bless her with some money. I'm like, I'm only doing this because you helped me bless somebody else, so I want to bless you too. So, you feel me? She felt how she felt about it. It was positive vibes, all that type of stuff. But I say all that to say, bruh, sometimes you just gotta embrace those situations that you're going through. You may not know why you're going through it. You may not know the reason you're going through it and how you're gonna get out of it. But what you gotta recognize is you don't control the outcome. All you can control is what you can control. You feel me? And what can you control? You can control your mindset. You can control being obedient to certain things that you feel like God may be telling you to do. You can control taking the eyes off of your situation and helping other people. You feel me? Whether that be giving other people encouragement, or sometimes you may have to financially help somebody else in certain things. And it's not saying that like God owes you anything, but I feel like he takes that as you being humble in a way and you trusting in him. So sometimes, a lot of times, I will say, just in my experience, God will, you feel me, do certain things that put you in a better situation. So, but like I said in the beginning of the video, bro, you just gotta keep going. You gotta find that positive out of every negative situation. And sometimes you gotta learn from positive situations too. And as you go through these hard times and these situations that you may not know why and where and what it leads to, just know that it helps you grow. Going through certain things, going through hard times, all of that helps you grow. You feel me? When you lifting weights, it hurts. You feel me? It's not supposed to feel good. That's what I tell myself every time I'm doing cardio or I'm lifting weights. It's not supposed to feel good to my body. But over the course of the time of me continue to apply those certain things and just embracing how I'm feeling and what I'm feeling, I see the results. I see the results of me, my physique getting better. I see the results of me feeling more in shape, you feel me? So keep that in mind when you're going through them hard times or them situations. Take the eyes off of you and put your eyes on something else. Put your eyes on a situation that you can better for somebody else, or you can do better and be better or help somebody else. You feel me?